Hi guys, Enda here from TrendSpotter. Just a quick recap here on some trades over the weekend. On the 27th, Friday, there was some major movers. So let's have a look at the small cap era. Okay, so as you can see here for VRNA, you had some nice movement up and movement down. So let's dive right in. So what you have here is pharma stock on probably news or some catalyst on it. And it gaps up out of the gate. So again, we ignore the first move, as anyone who follows me knows and understands, and we wait for the second move. So this is the first move on the background. Okay, so you can see the background is green, and it shoots up 9.21 up to 12.91. So that's $3. That's a nice move up. And after that, you see the Psar turns, and the entry is here. So let's have a look at what TrendSpotter has for us. Okay, so as you can see here, the move is a nice $2.50 move on that, and there was actually a drawdown of, what's that, 23 cents. Okay, so right in there, TrendSpotter caught a lot of the move, as much as the first move out of the gate. Okay, so if you're fast and you're following these guys that can get these moves out of the gate, that's great. Okay, or if you have a strategy that works for there. But TrendSpotter again comes to the rescue and gives you the move back in a nice handy downward only movement here. As you can see, it's a beautiful downward move. And again, that would be enough for me, $2.50 on it, on $9 share, $9.50 share, a couple of thousand shares in there, you're done for the day. But if you're so inclined, you could stay in and you can keep going down. It would have been a $3.12 move. Okay, so that's it. That's what it is. As you can see, the TrendSpotter move is the second candle to have two arrows in a row with the red trend meter down here, okay, and it's all pointing down. And as you can see from the background is red to show that the stock is weak. Again, there is another move here, but because it's a small stock, you be very careful. It's just lost $2.50 of a move as well. You could get in around about here, but as you can see, there's no real movement in it. You might get out there, break even, but time to move on. There's plenty more stocks in the sea. Okay, next one is TTPH. So TTPH moves here. So as you can see here, 930. That's an RSI change, background change there, and as you can see here, there's the first and second. So for me, that is technically a move in here. You could get in your entry on this. The problem with this move for me, and the fact that I don't trade stocks that are this small, is that this move is so extended here that if you're getting in at the high here, it's very risky. So if you got in here, you would have been stuck up here somewhere. And that, like, what's the drawdown there? 46 cents. If you got out here, anywhere in here, you would have been very lucky. So you probably would have lost if you got in strictly on that move there. The second move right after it is a short position here, and as you can see, we are waiting for the red, and right in here is your here is your short. Okay, and your short position for the entire move is 60 cents down over here. Okay, and the pullback on that is what, 7 cents. So again, that's a 61 cent move on a $3 stock is, what's that, about 30%, is it? Does it say it there? 17.38% move. That's an enormous move on a stock, a 17% move. If you can get 2%, you're doing well. Okay, so that's a move, and does anything happen? No, nothing else happens. As with, compared to large caps, small caps, they fizzle out and there's nothing left. Really, so sometimes there's nothing left unless there's massive volume on them. MREO, let's have a look at that. So MREO was another one that was traded. Biopharma, all the pharma stocks on Friday. So 930. So obviously this came up on a scanner because, as you can see here, nothing really happened. So this is just, so you probably wouldn't have seen this part, and then you just see this move. So here's the problem. On a stock that, these small cap stocks that just pop up out of nowhere, it's very difficult to see the patterns in it because they're short squeezing up, or they're just moving on momentum and everybody's piling in because the scanners are going crazy. So that doesn't suit following a stock for the day with the trend. So if you're piling into this with all the other people that are getting in, like there's your move in there. That's a nice dollar move. But there is no move for TrendSpotter in here because it's not a trend, it's just a spike. So in here, if this just pops up and like that's a pullback, you could get in on a nice pullback there, but who's to say it's going to pull back? It could just keep going the other way. And as you can see here, there's nothing really much to look at. But I mean, you could get in for a short position right here, maybe, if you really wanted to. And you're talking about 43 cent maybe. Like that's not my kind of, that's way too long for me to be in a trade, and it's small cap. But 43, if you made 45 cent with 2, 3, 4, 5,000 shares, there's a lot of money in there for you. Okay, and again, I mean, I don't know where to, like, this is just so messy for me. I don't like this as a stock. But again, it's a penny stock. It's under $10. You should, because you can take so many shares, you should be delighted it's doing anything. Okay, here's another example. So as you can see here, the bell opens and nothing's happening. It's just kind of mooching along, and then it just shoots off, right? And that's where everybody, this was probably halted and all that kind of stuff because it's moving up so fast. But on the reversal on this, it's not overly enthusiastic. I wouldn't be very excited about it, but I mean, if you could squeeze 39 cent out of a small cap, that's a nice move. But that was basically in the one candle, really. So even if you got 15 cent, 20 cent out of it, again, you can leverage up into it. And if you stayed with this, I suppose you could see there are movements in it. Like there's a nice move the next time you get in here. So that's a long position from here. So here, that move is a 82 cent move. Okay, so that's a nice move. But you'd have to be watching these like a hawk. And again, I prefer the large cap. I prefer the Teslas. I know many of you can't trade Tesla, or even Roku is a nice one. So Tesla, for example, as you can see, Tesla makes large moves all day. So that's the difference between, I suppose, well, for me, the difference between large cap and small cap. So even if you get in late into Tesla, so at 9:30, there's a huge move down. We ignore that. We get in on the second move, which is right here. And we get in here, and that gives you a $1.66 move. That's more like it for me. There's room to maneuver in a $1.66 move, even with 30 cent of a spread. And again, you can get in over here for the same kind of moves. That's with Tesla. Roku, something very similar as well, where you get in 9:30. So there's a huge sell move down. And then we look for the reverse, and the reverse is here, maybe long position here, second one, and you're talking about a 90 cent move. No, not spectacular, but you could work with that. But what I like about the small caps is that if you have a larger account, you could take 500 or 1,000 shares of Roku, which is fine. And 90 cent is good. But if you take 10,000 shares of a smaller cap stock, and that has to lose or move a lot less. So 30 or 40 cent on a small cap stock is a big deal when you've 10,000 shares. So it's something to think about when you're using TrendSpotter for these kind of moves. All the small caps do react well, and you're not getting in with the momentum boys. So you're kind of letting that stuff happen. But I think it's this one, V. But it will give you the results. Like there's the huge move up, and then this obviously had a bigger float and more people trading it, and there's your move down. That's an enormous move for a small cap like that, for a $9 stock. As always, guys, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more info, and if you require a trial of TrendSpotter, click on the link in description. Talk to you in the next one.